Perfect. All right, good morning, everyone. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to be reviewing the new user interface for the marketing module in CRM 2013. And we're going to be going through the new user navigation of the marketing module. Taking those two things into consideration, we're going to go into the marketing list area. We're going to review how to create a marketing list and how to manage those marketing list members. After that, we're going to go into campaign management. We're going to create a campaign. We're going to create a planning activity for that campaign, and then we're going to actually create the campaign activities. We're also going to talk about how you can track campaign performance. After that, we are going to have a quick question and answer session. And then we're going to review the upcoming final Lunch and Learn webinar for this series. So let's jump into this demonstration. For those who joined us for our first webinar, you might have seen the slide before. This is the older version of CRM. This was CRM 2011. And the biggest difference between 2011 and 2013, of course, is that user interface and navigation. So for the marketing module, you were used to having the marketing entity located in the left side navigation. It's now located on top of the screen. So you would go to your Dynamics CRM area and select the marketing entity. Once you do that, all your familiar related entities, such as campaigns, quick campaigns, products, sales literature, reports, those will all appear. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a marketing list. In 2011, you have to jump around the screen to manage members, to add campaigns, to add quick campaigns. You would have to always go to the left navigation and jump through all those related entities. With 2013, you can do all of this from the main screen, from the main form. So let's jump into an example of that. So once you log into CRM 2013, the first place you'll always be brought to is your dashboards. So to get to my marketing area, you'll notice that my navigation from the left has now been moved to the top. So I will now locate the marketing entity. And then we're going to select, do we want to go to activities, accounts, contacts, leads, or marketing lists? Let's go to marketing lists. Okay. So right now we have our view of my active marketing lists. You can change your views to see all active marketing lists. So if other members of your marketing department are creating their own list, you can see those. You can see older deactivated marketing lists. Or you could create a personal view to filter the marketing list based on criteria, for example, certain products that you're advertising. So what I want to do here is I want to open up this April 2013 trade show. So you can see here right away we do have our name. We have the list type. The two options you have are either static or dynamic. Static means I'm going to select my members, and that's it. Nothing's going to change. A dynamic list is a list created on dynamic filters. So if I want to send an email blast out to all my accounts that are based out of New Jersey, I can create a dynamic marketing list that's based on that criteria. And let's say in about a month or so, a couple new accounts come into the system, I don't have to go back into this marketing list and re-update the list. Automatically, since they are in New Jersey, they will be added to this marketing list. If for any reason an account is moved, if a lead is moved out of New Jersey, they'll automatically be taken out of this marketing list. Right from this marketing list, we can add campaigns, quick campaigns, and along with some notes. But what we want to do is we want to create a new marketing list. So let's go back to our marketing list area. And I want to create a new marketing list. In 2011, you would have to go to your left navigation and go to the top right of the ribbon to create a new marketing list. Well, It's a little bit similar here. You just go to the top left of the form, and you'll see the New button. So let's select New. All right. So what should we call this marketing list? Well, let's call it the May 2013 trade show list. So I went to a trade show, and I had a whole bunch of leads, and I'm going to enter those into CRM. So now the list type, do we want it to be static or dynamic? For this example, I'm going to be using the static. What's the purpose of this? Is it to generate new revenue, to distribute information about a new product? And you'll notice that certain fields have a red asterisk next to them. That means these are required fields. So if you don't know the certain information, or the certain information is not relevant, those probably will not be required. You can set the required or not required per field on the form. So what are we targeting here? Are we targeting our accounts, our contacts, or our leads? Well, for this example, we're going to go with leads. Source. So where did this marketing list come from? Did I create it myself, or did I buy it from a third-party vendor? Currency. Well, all these members are in the United States, so while we are campaigning to them, we're going to be talking about American currency. Was there a cost associated to this marketing list? If I bought it from a third-party vendor, was there a cost associated to that list? And we have other things such as the modified on date, last used, the owner, the person creating this, and we could put in a quick description about the marketing list itself. So, just like in 2011, you're going to have to save the marketing list first before you can add your members. So let's go ahead and click Save. All right. So in 2011, the way you added your members were you have to go to your left navigation bar, select members, and then go to the top left and select Add New Members. In 2013, you could do it all from the main page. So I see my members subgrid, and I will select to add some new members. So we can do just a simple lookup to look up for all of my leads, or we could do an advanced find lookup. This is a filtered lookup, so you could set certain criteria. So I'm looking for leads that are based in New Jersey within this zip code, as an example. But for this example, I will select the lookup tool. Okay, so we have all our leads here. It looks like there's about 11 leads. In 2011, this lookup was almost identical. However, in 2013, there's an extra step you need to do to add these members. So I will either select one, or I could select many of these leads. So right now what I did is I selected all 11 leads, and instead of selecting Add, I'm actually going to have to select the Select button. And that's what's going to add all these members to my marketing list. So once I'm happy with all this information, I will select Add. You can see now that all my members have been added to the marketing list. I can add them to campaigns, to existing campaigns from here, or I can add them to existing quick campaigns as well. But what I want to do is I want to create a new campaign. So to navigate back to my campaign area, I will locate my marketing entity in my new ribbon, and then I will locate the campaigns. If you don't notice the exact entity you're looking for, there is a scroll button. By selecting that scroll button, the top bar will scroll to the right. So now I will select campaigns. Okay. So let's create a new campaign. Just like we did with a marketing list, all we would have to do is go to our top left and select New. All right. So what are we going to call this campaign? Well, it was a May trade show, so let's call it the May Trade Show Marketing Campaign. If you use campaign codes, you can put in your campaign code. Again, currency just shows what type of money we're discussing here. It's going to be US dollars. Is there a campaign type? Advertising, is this going to be direct marketing, an event, or other? Of course, if you do have different types of campaigns, you can add these when you customize your CRM system. So for now, I'll just go with other. What's our expected response percentage? Well, I'm an enthusiastic guy. I'm going to go with 90%. So is there a proposed start date? I think it was the 29th. I proposed it, and I believe I wanted to end on the 9th, so 1 week. Well, what's my actual start? Well, I'm doing it today, and the actual end, I do want it to end on the 9th. Is there an offer? Is there a specific offer that we're talking about here? Are we offering 10% off on a new product? For this example, I think everything here is in place, so let me just select Save. All right. So you'll see that a new unique campaign code has been generated for us. And now we can actually start our marketing campaign. What we can do is we can have a little reminder here for us. So I'm going to create a task. And that's just simply to order samples. And I want it to be due by, let's say, Friday. I can change the owner and assign it to someone else, but for now, I just want myself to be the owner of this campaign activity. So next time I log in to my marketing campaign module, and I open up this specific campaign, right in front of my face, I'll see that I do have to order samples. And it'll show me if it's completed or not. What I can do now is I can add marketing list members to my campaign. So to do that, we would go to our plus sign above our subgrid, and it'll give us a list of marketing lists. For this one, I will select May. And in 2011, all you would have to do is select Add. But in 2013, you do have to push the Select button. Once you're satisfied with the information in your Selected Records box, you can select Add. So you get the same question you got in 2011. Do you want to add this marketing list just to the campaign? Or do you want to add these marketing list members to the campaign and its undistributed campaign activities? So what does that mean? Well, if this was an existing campaign and there were certain activities that have not been distributed yet, those would get assigned to these new marketing list members. So this is a brand new one, so it doesn't really matter which one I pick. And you can see that all 11 members have been added to this campaign. Now, sometimes you might have planning activities. So things you need to do before this campaign can even start. Well, in 2011, those were called pre-planning activities, and they were located in the left navigation area. Those are still here, but they're now located in the top navigation bar. So by clicking the drop-down menu next to our campaign, we can see planning activities. So let's select planning activities. You can see here we do have the order samples that we created, but also we might want to create an appointment. So what would be a typical appointment? Well, maybe it's to have a meeting with call center managers. So I'm going to create a marketing campaign for phone calls, but before that, I do want to have a meeting with my call center managers. I could set a start time and end time, and then save and close. All right. So let's jump back to our campaign. To do so, we'll select the campaign name in our ribbon. And now we can actually add campaign activities. So to do so, we can do it right from the form. In 2011, you would have to actually go to the left navigation, go back to the top of the ribbon, and then select Add a New Campaign Activity. They eliminated about 3 clicks here. So right from the main form, we can select the plus sign to add some new campaign activities. All All right, so what is this campaign activity? I'm going to call it a phone call blast. Okay. It's being used in this specific campaign. And what type is this? Is this going to be a research, target marketing, lead qualification, and of course you could create your own values here. So what's the channel? Channel just simply means what's the activity type. Is this going to be a phone call? Is this going to be an email, an appointment? For this specific one, I will say phone call. Outsourced vendor. Am I going to be calling these people, or will an outsourced vendor be calling these people? And of course, we have other things such as the description, the scheduled start and stop, and then the actual start and stop will be auto-populated. Okay, so looks like I will create my phone call blast, and I will select save. All right. So our phone call blast activities have been created, and it's in regards to this marketing list. And just like in 2011, we are going to have to distribute our campaign activities. In 2011, the campaign distribution button was located in the top of the ribbon. Well, it's now located on top of the form. So let's go ahead and distribute these campaign activities. Okay. So what's the subject of this phone call? We'll just call it the May 2013 trade show follow-up. Okay. And you don't have to fill out the call from or call to. Once we select distribute, it's going to give us some options for that. So let's select distribute. So who should be making these phone calls? Should it be the owners of the records of the people in the marketing list? So these are all leads. So once I select distribute, should these activities hit the queue of the owners of those leads? Or should I be making all these phone calls? Or I can assign all these phone calls to a specific user or a specific team, for example, my call center team. For this example, there's only about 11 calls. I think I'll make them. So let's select assign to me and then distribute. All right. So we've distributed our phone call activities. In 2011, you had the ability to see if there's any failures once you distributed your campaign activities. That was located in the left navigation area. It's now located in the top of the ribbon. So let's go to our phone call blast and go to our drop down. And now we could select the failures. You'll notice here that we did have one failure. Well, it's going to show us that the name of the lead. So we have John Johnson. And it'll also say the reason. So this person has refused phone calls. If you remember on the lead form, if you scroll down, there is a contact methods preferences. So you can see here that under the contact method, he does not want to receive bulk emails, and he does not want to receive any type of phone call blasts. So as a sales rep, if you know that this person doesn't want to receive these and you selected do not allow bulk email, do not allow phone calls, and marketing went over your head and created their own campaign, there's no need to email every marketing person and let them know that these people don't want to receive phone calls, don't want to receive email blasts. If you just select that check off, automatically that person will be rejected from the activity, and marketing will actually receive a reason why. So let's jump back to our campaign area. All right. So we have our whole bunch of campaign activities here. I'm sorry, these are our actual campaigns. What I want to do is I want to go into an older campaign, this 2013 trade show. All right. And what I'm interested in seeing here is my campaign responses. So what we can do is scroll down, and we'll be at our response area. So it looks like I did create a follow-up phone call for this campaign. And it looks like 2 people have responded so far. One is a normal priority, one's a high priority. So I'm interested to see what is this high priority response. Let's open that up. Okay, looks like Jonathan did call Nancy Anderson, and it was in regards to our follow-up from our trade show. And she does want to set up a sales demo ASAP. All right. Well, Nancy Anderson is a lead, and she told me that she's interested in seeing a sales demo. So to me, that's an opportunity. I can take this campaign response and actually convert it into an opportunity. So to do that in 2013, you would actually go to the top of the form compared to the 2011 way of going to the top of the ribbon. So let's go top of the form and select Convert Campaign Response. So what do you want to do? Do you want to create a lead? Well, no, she is already a lead. You want to convert this lead into a new account or contact? Or do you want to create a new account, contact, and opportunity? So that's what I do want to do. I do want to create an opportunity. So I'll select OK. Oh. All right. So now we have created an opportunity from that follow-up phone call. If you wanted to gauge where your opportunities came from, you spent maybe, let's say, $10,000 on a marketing campaign, and the estimated revenue for this one might be $100,000. So it's really important to gauge the actual cost of the campaign, the estimated revenue that can generate, and the actual revenue. Well, right on the opportunity form, there is a source campaign field. So it shows you where this actually came from. Now, what you can do is you can actually gauge these from a dashboard. So let's go into our dashboard area. And remember, in 2011, all your dashboards were located in your workplace on the left navigation area. That has been now relocated to the top of the ribbon. So let's go to the top and select marketing. All right. So now we'll go to our marketing area and select dashboards. So we can filter through our dashboards. For this specific one, I want to select the marketing dashboard. All right. So we can see here we do have a bunch of out-of-the-box dashboards. Just so you know, I didn't edit any of these dashboards. These all came with CRM. So one dashboard I have here is my campaign type mix. So it's a nice graphical chart that shows me that I'm doing some advertisement, direct marketing, I'm doing some events, co-branding, and other. Another one is my campaign budget versus my actual cost. So I can gauge the budget for each campaign and the campaign activities. So it looks like everything seems to be in place for the first quarter, and second quarter, the budget amount seems to be in a good spot as well. As we scroll down, we see our leads by source campaign. So where did our leads come from? Looks like from our new customer loyalty program, I did get 3 leads. So that's a pretty good one. I'm not doing so well with my ad campaigns, so I might want to take a look at that. But my direct marketing, that's working pretty well. I generated 5 leads. It's the biggest one. If I wanted to actually jump into this, I can select my drill down button to see all my leads by source campaign. Okay. And specifically, I want to filter this on the direct marketing campaign. By selecting the direct marketing, it'll show me all my leads in that campaign. I can open up the leads, and read all the descriptions under those activities. Another thing I can do is I can gauge to see if my sales rep or marketing team are doing their jobs. I do see a blank campaign here. In my company, all leads have to be associated to a campaign. So I do see a blank one. So let me open that up again and click the blank one. Ah, there's Mr. John Johnson again. So let's open him up. On all the lead records, there is a field called Source Campaign. So let's locate that field. Oh, and there it is. Looks like no one filled that out. So let me go ahead. And I knew that this person came from our direct marketing campaign. So I can fill that up, save the changes, and we're good to go with Mr. John Johnson. Let's refresh. And as we refresh, we'll notice that the direct marketing template has now increased to 6. And of course, the most important one is our revenue generated by the campaign. Looks like the event campaign template is the one that's generating the most revenue. I can see my activities, and I can see all my campaigns in a nice grid view right from my dashboard. Another out-of-the-box dashboard is the social dashboard. So it gives you a campaign mix, and it gives you a live feed of what's going on in the marketing world. So it looks like a couple competitors were made, and it looks like an opportunity was converted from a CRM marketing email. All right. Let's jump into this. So all these dashboards do come with CRM out of the box. If you do have heavy customized fields on your opportunities, on your leads, it's very simple to modify these reports. You would simply go into the reports area, and you can run your report wizard or your dashboard wizard to help you modify these. If it's a little difficult for you, you can always contact Behringer. We can help you modify all your dashboards and reports. So this leads us into our question and answer portion of the program. So looks like a couple did come in.
Yeah, John, we do have a couple questions from our attendees. The first of them is, can anyone create a marketing list for themselves?
That's a good question. So yes, but it also depends on your security role. So if you don't want your sales reps creating marketing lists or even marketing campaigns, you can set it so that only people in the marketing department have that ability. So they're the only ones that are sending out those blast emails to everyone.
All right, great. The next question, can you put leads and contacts on the same marketing list?
That is a very good question. You cannot. You would have to make one marketing list for leads and one marketing list for contacts. However, you can add those to a campaign. So let's do that. That's a good example. That's a good question. Let's jump into marketing. And let's go into marketing lists. So we know here we have 2 marketing lists that are for leads. And let's create a new one for contacts as well. So contact list. You can see here we can only select one, account, contact, or lead. For this one, I will select contact. All right. To manage my members, again, right from the main form, I can use an advanced find, or I can just use the simple lookup. Looks like I have about 14 contacts here. All right. So we've created our marketing list. And now let's go into a campaign. So let's just create a quick campaign here. All right. So we have a campaign created for our leads and contacts, and it's going to be to create a phone call blast for them. Well, what I can do now is I can add a marketing list to this campaign. I have one here for leads, and I have one here for contacts. Select and add. Okay. I can then add my campaign activity. All right. And once I select this distribute button, it's going to give me those parameters again. Do you want to create these phone calls for the owners of these leads and contacts, or do you want to create those phone calls for yourself to call these leads and contacts? So I have two marketing lists. One is for leads and one is for contacts, and they're associated to one campaign. So again, you could have multiple marketing lists for multiple entities, but each marketing list will belong to one entity. So one marketing list for leads and one marketing list for contacts.
That's some pretty great functionality there, John. I've got one more question. Is it possible to import categories from Outlook into CRM to use for identifying types of leads or customers for generating campaigns?
That's a good question. I would have to actually, I want to say the short answer is yes, but let me look into that. That's a very interesting question. Brendan, if you could just write down who that's from, we'll reply directly back to that question.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. We'll look into that functionality offline, I suppose, then. All right. Let me grab you this one last question. Can you add CRM users to a marketing list? So as opposed to like a contact or a lead, how about an actual user?
That's a great question. Okay. So let's jump back. I'm sure a cool little shortcut there. That does come up quite often. What if I want to send an email blast to my users? So let's go into marketing and then marketing lists. And let's go in contacts. Actually, let's create a new one. Yep. So what you should do here, this is a great trick, it's a little get around. You'll notice that the only people you can market to are your accounts, contacts, and leads. Well, let's say you want to send an email blast to all your CRM users. What you can do is you could create an account for your company. So I can create Behringer Associates inside of my CRM system. I could add myself, Brendan, David Buggy, Lisa Behringer, Craig Behringer, all to that account. And whenever I want to send an email blast out, there's one account on my marketing list, and that's just my company. And that's a nice little trick to get around the fact that you can't blast your users. Any other questions? All right. So if there aren't any other questions, what I do want to talk about is our next step.
That looks like about it.
All the Behringer CRM project managers will be on this call. Our lead developer will be on the call. Our CRM director, Paula Bernard, will be on the call. And this is just an open session. So any questions you might have about CRM in general, about CRM functionality, whatever it might be, the Outlook client, this is your time to ask those questions. We'll be able to answer any questions in this hour time. If the hour does run over and you did submit your question, we will actually reply directly to you after the webinar. Everyone, if there are no other questions, I do want to thank you for joining us today. And be sure to join us next Friday, May 9th, for our Power Hour.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.